Can you start with your name, where the house was, and what was going on with the property that made you want to sell?
Hi, my name's Dave Marsh. The property's located in Leavenworth, Kansas. My mother recently passed away, and I've ran into some health issues on my own. And there's things that have to be done to the house that I can't do. And I was looking at maybe going with someone such as iBuy. He came to the house. It was really a really good experience with him.
Before you found us and we connected, what was the most stressful part about the house situation for you?
Just trying to maintain. Like I said, I got to the point where I couldn't do it anymore. And again, I knew there was some work that needed to be done on it. I had priced some of it, having it done, and kind of figured I knew what it would cost to update it and do what I needed to do. And the offer that Jared gave me was really in line with what I was thinking. It was a very easy process.
How was dealing with what you were, the stress of the house and all that? How was that making you feel on a day-to-day basis?
It's a big weight off of my shoulders. I didn't know what I was going to do or how I was going to maintain it. Yeah, it was just a big weight off of my shoulders.
What kind of shape was the property in, and what problems were you dealing with?
Basic house wasn't in bad shape. The inside had been remodeled once before. Now the outside did need some work. I realized it needed a new roof. Like I said, I didn't have the physical capabilities of doing it anymore, and I checked on the pricing to see what to bring it up to stuff. And his quote was actually real in line, and agreed to that, and it went real smooth.
Did listing with an agent feel like an option for you and going the traditional route, and why or why not?
We had talked about it with my wife, going through a couple of them. The values of homes right now, I think, are outrageous. They had given me a couple of quick quotes, but that's before they actually go through and this house needs this, needs that, and that, and that. And which I was already aware of before doing that. And going with a realtor, it's just kind of a hassle sometimes. Sometimes they're working for you, sometimes they're working for a buyer. It was so much easier doing everything up front. Your company took care of everything. I didn't have to worry about it. Like I said, I couldn't believe how smooth it went, really.
I'm glad you feel that way, because it's we try to make it as like I said when we met in that living room, we try to make it as frictionless as possible and make it super, super simple. So I'm just glad that that's resonating with you, because it's something that is a huge focus on our side. I mean, every day we're talking, how can we make this easier? And it already feels super easy. We're trying to make it even easier.
And I want to add too, I talked to you, I know I was trying to clean out the house as much as possible. We didn't get everything cleaned out, unfortunately, but you said you would take care of it, no problems, and that was a big relief on me also. I appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm glad that was a benefit that you saw value in, because it's honestly one of our biggest benefits, especially in an inherited situation. I'm like, dude, make this 10 times easier on yourself and just leave me the burden, right? And I'm glad that you took some advantage of that, at least, because it's, again, one of our biggest benefits. Being honest, what worried you about a We Buy Houses for Cash company like ours?
I don't know. I've gotten offers in the mail. You get them all the time. We're going to give you X amount. Well, a lot of these were the full amount, what it was appraised for. And I just couldn't believe they're going to come up and give you that kind of money. In fact, I checked with one of them once before, and right off the bat, they started deducting stuff off of that top price. With you gave me what I thought was a fair price off the bat. There was no haggling. I didn't feel involved. I thought it was a very honest value. I don't know how else to say. I thought it was an honest offer. And I appreciate that. There was no haggling or anything else. I feel it was an honest offer.
Yeah, thank you. What almost stopped you from moving forward to sell us your house?
Well, my wife, she's always, she was telling me about her friends that had these houses and they got this much money out of them. And I've seen some of that. Some of those sat on the market for like 6 months, a year or two. I did not want to wait that long. I've got some health issues. There's a chance, unfortunately, I may not be around that time. I don't know. But I wanted her to be taken care of. She didn't have to worry about anything. It was a big concern of mine. The way this went through as quickly as it went, and I feel very good about it myself.
What you kind of touched on it a little bit there, but what made you decide to go with us anyways?
As easy as it went, I just figured there'd be a lot more haggling involved. Or you'd come in and you'd give me a quick quote or something, and then you'd come back and say, well, this. And you were pretty upfront, you pretty much saw there was no retraction, or you're coming back and saying, well, it's going to have to do something else. And like I said, your original was right on, and I appreciate that. Plus, you promised that it'd go through pretty quickly, which it did, and I value that your honesty up front is what I went with.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that. What from the day we met, how much time did it take for us to close?
Oh my goodness, within a couple of weeks. I figured it'd be longer than that. I really did, maybe a month or two. And like I said, within a couple of weeks, we were done.
Yep. We go fast when the timing's right and the situation makes sense, for sure. What was there anything that maybe I said or that we did that I know you spoke with some other guys, you entertained a couple other quotes, it sounds like, but was there anything that maybe I said or that we did within our company that made you kind of think to yourself, okay, these guys are different?
Well, you weren't overly pushy. You laid it out straight. I respected your how you come about. Like I said, like one or two others, they were really pushy, almost, I don't want to say phony, but it was like, nah, I don't think so. You up front seemed honest and everything, and that's kind of why I went with you.
Awesome. Yeah, I mean, our team really doesn't push. Like we're like, hey, here's what we can do for you. Here's why we're beneficial. And if you'd like to work with us, let's do it. But if for whatever reason it doesn't make sense for you, then we understand. I kind of already asked you earlier, but how fast did we close, and what ended up being easier than you expected?
Like I said, within 2 weeks, we had to close on the house, and everything. I mean, it just went a whole lot easier than what I expected. I've had previous homes that I've sold through a realtor, and it just seemed like it took forever. I don't think I've ever had anything close this quickly. One of the houses I had, it was on for over a year before it. Of course, the interest rates at that time were really expensive, but it was over a year that house was on the market, and I didn't want to wait that long.
Yeah. I mean, that's one of the biggest advantages of working with us too, is speed. So I'm glad that was valuable for you. What's the best part about being done with this house now?
It's a big weight off of my shoulders, trying to keep the utilities on over there, keep the grass cut, just basic stuff over there. And unfortunately, with what's happened to me recently, it is getting to the point I couldn't do that. The last month I've had to hire somebody to cut grass and take care of that kind of stuff with it, and I don't have that worry anymore. I can focus myself on other things now.
Yeah, that's great. How do you feel today compared to before we ever spoke?
Like I said, it's a big worry off my mind now. And right now, I don't need any added worries. I've got enough as it is.
If someone in Kansas City is in the same spot you were in and maybe nervous about calling us, what would you tell them?
I would highly recommend you. I mean, if they're looking to make money, I'd say I don't know what to tell you, because you're giving an honest amount with what you've got to do to put the place on the market. And your offer, I thought, was in line, very much so. If they're wanting to sit there with a real estate agency, say, well, we can get this out of it, well, you may sit on it for 6 months or longer, or maybe a year. If you don't mind the wait, or if you don't have any issues, then, it's kind of your own decision. But my own benefit, this is the best way I could go. And I would recommend you, especially for someone that's needing to do something in a hurry. If you've got time on your hands and you're physically able to do things, then you can go another route. But if you're needing to get something done in a fair, equitable amount, I would say I would highly recommend you.
Head to iBuyKC.com, iBuyKC.com.